Hey folks, this is Overwatch TV back with another interview. My name is Apostle. I'll be your host for today. And joining me, we have one of the best tank players in the world coming all the way from Pacific to show off his talents in North America. It's cuFFa from Geekay Esports. cuFFa, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us here. Do you want to take a second to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself for anyone who's maybe not familiar with your game.
Yeah, okay. My name's cuFFa. I'm a tank player for Geekay Overwatch. I've been around for a while. I started competing in early 2020 on an Australian team. And I've slowly moved up and I'm playing for Geekay now. And we're pretty good.
I think pretty good is putting it pretty lightly. You guys have won past two stages. First stage not under the Geekay name, but still. The results stay the same. And so far here in stage 3, you guys have had a perfect start. Back-to-back 3-0s. It kind of feels like maybe you guys haven't been pushed to your limits quite yet. But how would you put Geekay in the NA Power Rankings right now?
I mean, I can't say that I don't believe in us to win every time. So I'm going to say we're number one. I think, these other teams, they want to beat us and they're going to try. But we're good for it. Like, we'll still try and come out on top. Like, that's the plan. We want a 3-peat.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, you guys haven't been pushed to the limit quite yet. Do you guys feel that, you've still kind of managed to improve here compared to your past two stages? Like, are you still growing and getting better than you were even before?
Oh, yeah, I agree. Like, definitely. I think we're getting better faster now. Like, stage 1, so much stuff to learn. We had to get through so many hurdles. Stage 2, we changed the roster a bit, had to integrate Will into the roster. Now, we've been playing together for so long, outside of this team as well, on Redbirds and all that. We have so much, it's just I don't know, everything's so good. We're in such a good environment and we all love playing with each other. So, I mean, I think we're only just going to keep getting better and it'll be faster. Gultek is an insane coach. We have an incredible environment. Everyone wants to win. We're not slacking. We're not sitting back. And I don't want to give Liquid or SSG a win. So we'll keep trying to win.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, speaking of your most recent win here, in your match against Sakura, it seemed to be pretty straightforward for you guys. But was there anyone on that team who kind of stood out to you, despite it kind of being one-sided?
Sakura, Zomba's on that team, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Zomba's pretty good. I think that guy just probably needs to expand his hero pool a bit, but he's pretty good. They play specific things because they have Zeb. They don't really play any dive tanks. They got Orisa, Junker Queen, Zarya. I think it was a little interesting versus Junker Queen because no one really has played it, and you got to be kind of careful on ball. When you're looking for engages, you just get pulled back in from the knife. So that was a little bit of a challenge in that regard, but I mean, it was kind of smooth sailing. I think, Zomba probably stood out the most, though. I think that guy's pretty good.
Now, what do you think it is that kind of sets you guys apart from a team like Sakura? Is it just kind of raw attributes? You guys are just aiming better, moving better, or is it the experience you guys have? Or, because in comparison, Sakura is kind of more rookie focused.
I think it's everything, to be honest. I think we're all better mechanically. We're smarter players. We have more resources. I think it's just a factor, everything, combined.
Mm. Do you think that Sakura have anything that they might be able to specialize in, any bright spots that kind of show some potential to you? Or do you think that if you run this match back 100 times, it's going to be 100 wins for you guys?
Maybe they can upset it. I mean, they have some characters where they're really good at, and I think teams should play to their strengths all the time, especially in NA or in any region. You should always just play what you're good at and try and beat everyone. I feel a lot of teams try and play every comp and they lean into the meta too much and it just doesn't fit their strengths. I think teams just need to play what they're best at for the highest chance of upsets.
Got you. Now, you're kind of talking about the meta here, so I kind of want to get you some of your takes on the meta now. We've seen you been playing a lot of ball recently, and it definitely seems like ball is in a pretty decent spot at the moment. So can you tell us a bit about what the Wrecking Ball's job kind of is in these compositions, and what is it that sets you apart from the other ones?
I think Ball is just like one of the better heroes right now in terms of survivability. Like all the brawl tanks are just so wank right now. Like they just get poked out so easily. Like the armor changes are like fixed armor. Like everything's so squishy. And like these dive tanks are like good for situations where you can just like play like low resource. Like Ball's like a really low resource hero. And like a lot of the stuff we play, I want to be super low resource. Like, just let UV do his own thing or Wu Yang, let our DPS do their own thing. I just go get health back. So I think it just like enables your team to play more of like a deathmatchy style and just let others carry. Like Ball's just like there to annoy people, really. Like you can carry on Ball, but I mean, it's mainly just like an annoying character to verse. And it's just like one of the tanks.
So you try to be more of an enabler with the Ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, again, talking about Ball specifically here, and particularly how you play them, perk-wise, we see a lot of variety with the Ball. We see some people are trying the new kind of parry shield perk he has, right? But you in particular, we see that you tend to go for Steamroller and Hang Time. And I know Steamroller in particular, for anyone who's unaware, that's the perk that allows you to do more damage to tanks. That seems to be a bit of a more unique pick for Ball, since a lot of people do kind of go for that health pack perk. So do you always go for those perks, or is it just situation dependent?
It's actually the other way around. So I always get the health pack perk. And
okay.
Most Balls get the boot perk, like the tank boot perk. And I've been trying a lot of the adaptive shield perk since they reworked it with like, it's kind of like a 1.5 second bubble now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like I think it's actually really good. Like I think it's a great perk. I think the pile drive perk, it's good, but like when you're playing comp like against super fast comps and you need to hit like a fast slam, like the slowed down slam time actually makes you miss quite a few opportunities. I think also having the bubble is super strong against like Cass or Anna Sleep or Wuyang Wave. Like Wuyang Wave boops you back. So if you have that bubble perk, it's actually super strong. You don't get CC'd by the wave and you can keep killing the Wuyang. So I think I'm kind of in the minority in terms of what perks I pick. But I think it's just better. Like people get the tank boot perk, and I just don't like. I don't think it's as good. Okay. I think you can have way more uptime in the map if you have the health pack perk. Like you can constantly get any health pack. You don't need to rely on the mega ones either. Like the mini ones give you 175. So right. I think you just have so much more uptime with those perks. And
do those perk choices kind of relate to what you said about like kind of enabling the team? Because I think like Hang Time obviously increases your damage and stuff as well. So does that lean more into like the ball carry playstyle, which isn't what you go for?
I'd say so. I think it's mainly the health pack one that's like the big thing. Like I still get the Hang Time perk sometimes, but I think the health pack one, you just like, my supports don't have to care me as much. I mean, Ball is like a pretty self-sustained hero anyways. Like you don't want to be sitting around waiting for your supports to heal you. So if you have a health pack that gives you more health than normal, like it's kind of just like a win-win, like more uptime.
Right. Now, how do you find kind of playing Ball as opposed to like a more traditional dive tank like Winston, for example? I know that for a long time you kind of made your name as like the best white boy Winston, right? So how does those compare?
I think it's a new challenge. I think it's really fun. Like I love playing Ball. I don't think people think I'm very good at Ball, which it kind of like motivates me to get better at Ball and become the best. Like I think I can easily become the best Western Ball player pretty quickly. I mean, I have Gultek coaching me. A Korean coaching Ball is like, kind of their bread and butter when it comes to dive comps. So I think if I have a bit of time, I can easily become the best. And it's like it's a new challenge because like I feel like I've already proved myself a decent amount on like other characters, like Winston, Hazard, and all that. Maybe Ram, but Ram's kind of fake. But Ball's like a new challenge. So if I can be the best at it, then that's what I'll aim for.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned those other characters like Hazard and Ramatra, and obviously, like Geekay, you guys did see a lot of success in the brawl slot meta, we'll call it, right? Now, as the tank player, you're kind of the linchpin in those. So, do you prefer going back to like the traditional dive now, or do you kind of enjoy the more coordination-based team play that you need with like the rush comps?
I think dive typically is like a more enjoyable comp to play and has a higher skill cap. I think Western players typically just suck at dive because they don't understand the game the way that Koreans do, or like at least how they play the game is just like completely different for dive. So I think it's like it's good. Like I prefer it to brawl comps. I think like, a lot of brawl comps are pretty cheesy. It's not really entertaining for viewers a lot of the time. So I think dive is like a there's like jokes about it being like, oh, like Winston like dive, like everyone gets super hyped for like no reason, but like
Do you consider it honest?
I
Do
think
you
it's
buy
honest.
into honest and dishonest comps?
A little, but like I mean, I can't really say too much. We played Life Weaver for a stage. That was like kind of a dishonest comp.
Okay, gotcha. Kind of talking about the rest of the team now. We saw you play Lethal this week on a lot more of the traditional hit scans. So, how much of this is thinking that those hit scans kind of maybe do still have a place in the meta? Because the one common trend that we've been hearing here at Overwatch TV in these interviews is that like hit scans are just gutted. The flex DPS are so much better, but you guys are still seeming to make it work. Is that just because it's Lethal's strength, or have you guys been able to find comps that can actually enable these?
I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier about our schedule. Like we just versed kind of weak teams compared to the top ones, SSG, Liquid, Nightmare. So we haven't really been tested. And I think the meta is like sort of changing a little bit with like double flex kind of falling out a bit. There's a patch tomorrow, so maybe hit scans will be better tomorrow. I think it's like a bit of a mixture of like us trying to branch out to a bit more hit scan stuff, but also the strength of the enemy and being able to get away with it.
Right. So kind of just taking the opportunity to see if you can make it work.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you mentioned patch tomorrow. This is being recorded on Monday, the day before patch comes out. If that patch does come out and we see some hit scan buffs come in, is that something you guys are hoping for, or do you kind of like the state of the meta as it is right now?
I think it would be ideal. Like Lethal is like an incredible hit scan, and having him on hit scan, he's just gonna like hard gap any other hit scan in the region or even internationally, like a lot of players. But it would be a challenge, like a nice challenge. If hit scan doesn't get better and we just keep playing what we're playing right now, because I think winning on that will always feel like a bit nicer, winning with like adversity. But yeah, I don't really mind. It's like I think we can still be the best in this meta, and I think we will still be the best in next meta. We just need to keep playing the game.
Gotcha. And now talking about your backline, we noticed that GK you've been experimenting a lot with Luyang Lucio backlines. Is that kind of also the same thing, just taking the opportunity to kind of limit test against these weaker teams?
A little bit, but I think it's actually just like a really strong comp. Like I think the Kira Luyang is like decent, but Kiriko is kind of fake right now. Like she only has the one TP. You see so many Kiris just like get caught off guard nowadays because they don't have the 2 TP perk. Like I feel like the character is actually not as good as it used to be because of that perk change. And I don't think it's actually better than Lucio Luyang on most maps. Like a lot of the maps, like you can just get away with Lucio Luyang.
Okay. So can you tell us a bit about like what the strength of that comp is? Because I think a lot of people, they kind of see it and they're like, oh, you have Lucio and Luyang who have a lot of overlap in terms of like the utility they offer. So what is it that you guys are doing different compared to the teams that are kind of trying to run those and failing?
I mean, I think it's just like plays into our strengths really well. Like, I think UV is like by far one of, if not the best Luyangs in the world right now. And then Admiral's just like an insane Lucio. So like we're kind of just playing into our strengths of that regard, and we're confident in that comp being able to beat other Luyang comp variants. So I mean, people will try and ban it out, but I mean, we still play like the other versions as well. We just like have mostly we've mostly done like Lucio Luyang for like our time, but we can play everything. Like our team is super flexible.
Now, as the tank player, do you feel like that kind of makes your job harder? Obviously, like, Luyang and Lucio, they both are a little bit harder to kind of keep you up in the middle of a fight, right? Especially if Luyang runs out of his healing resource early or gets his cooldowns forced. So does it change your playstyle at all? Like, would you prefer kind of being able to rely on a Kiri pocket or something?
I think that's why the ball pick is so much better than a lot of tanks right now, is because you're so self-sustaining. You don't need to rely on your heals. So we can kind of get away with playing the Lucio Luyang a lot more than we would be able to if it was like a brawl tank or like even like a Winston. But yeah, I think it's just like Ball is just super good for doing his own thing and not needing too much healing. A lot of the dive tanks as well. Like I think Winston's not even bad right now. I think you just need to play him in like a really reserved, slow-paced play style, like playing off your zap. But yeah, I think it's just like the Ball's just like perfect for the Lucio Luyang. Just don't need to rely on heals, and they don't have to spend all their time healing. UV can just like go carry, because I mean that guy puts up ridiculous damage numbers.
Right. Now, kind of talking about the tanks a little bit more here. One thing that we are seeing kind of get played a lot here in North America, especially, is we're seeing a lot of Zarya comps. So, as someone who is known more for the main tanks like yourself, how do you kind of feel about the potential that Zarya might end up making a reappearance here in the meta?
We tested Zarya a bit. Like at the start of the stage, we were like contemplating whether to lean into the ball comp more or to lean to the Zarya, and we went the Zarya route originally. And it was like fine, but I think we just got more and more confident on the ball comp, like because we were still experimenting, and our thought process was that ball would be the best path forward. And if we're going to be playing Zarya, like I don't think it really plays into our strengths as well as it would for ball, because I think like when we get to like the SSG match, like mirroring Zarya against Hawk, like you saw what happened in the Nightmare game, like they just got destroyed playing Zarya mirror. I think it'd kind of be like foolish for us to do the same thing. Whereas I think the ball comp, we have like a much greater chance of closing the gap and being better than the other ball teams.
Okay. So, kind of talking more about some of these other teams now. The future match, your next like hard match, the first real test, we'll say, of you guys will likely be your matchup against Nightmare. So do you guys have anything specific that you're looking at in that series? Is that one that you kind of are feeling as a must win, or are you guys so far ahead of the competition that you're putting them on the same level as Sakura and you're just gonna go in and see what you can make work?
I don't know. I think like it'll be like our first test of this meta, but I mean, also the patch is changing like tomorrow, so maybe it won't be the test this meta. Maybe it'll be like a completely different comp. So I think it'll just be like us trying to figure out the next few days what the best comp is post patch. And if it's ball mirror, I think we'll be fine. Like it's still regular season. There's still so much time to iron out issues. We typically start pretty slow. Like last days we started really slow. So I mean, I'm not really concerned with any of our matches, at least for the regular season. And I think they'll just be signs of like what we need to work on come playoffs, because playoffs is the only thing that really matters. So yeah, we'll treat it like just any game, really. Like I don't think we're not going to get nervous over a regular season match against Nightmare.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to present you with two scenarios here. First, we'll say that the patch tomorrow, it changes nothing really, and the meta is just going to kind of continue developing as it has been. If that's the case, I think it's pretty likely that we see you go head-to-head with RhynO, who's kind of been the ball guy for Nightmare here for the last little bit. So how do you feel about that individual head-to-head if that's what we see?
I think RhynO's like a pretty good ball player. Plays a bit of Winston as well. Like he's a good dive player. But maybe that's like I don't think we'll specifically try to like counter and like target his hero pool. But I mean, I think we can win like somewhat easily playing mirror. It's too hard to tell right now, but I mean, we're not going into the game thinking we're going to lose. Like we're just going to play.
Do you think RhynO is more of like you mentioned at the beginning that you kind of have like the two kinds of ball players, the hard carry ones versus the enablers? Where would you say RhynO falls into in that camp?
RhynO's probably like a hard carry ball player. Like I'd say so. I mean, like it's kind of hard to like distinguish. I mean, yeah, I'd say he's probably like a hard carry. Like he always puts up like pretty good stats, and he's doing a lot on the map. Like he's a good ball. He's a good player.
And do you think that
bad to say against him?
Do you think that then you coming in having like that cohesion of your team as a whole, do you think that gives you kind of an advantage in that head-to-head?
I wouldn't say it's an advantage in terms of like me, but I'd say just like our team is just like better. So there's that advantage. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the second scenario I'm presenting you here is patch comes out tomorrow and it ends up being like a whole slew of changes where we end up seeing the meta completely and everything is thrown into flux. If that happens, are you confident that you'll be able to adapt faster than Nightmare?
Yeah, I think we always adapt the fastest out of any team in terms of like comps. Like we always cook up like some interesting comps that people don't really know how to beat. Gultek's just like in the lab making crazy shit.
Okay. Now, if we do see a crazy meta shakeup, is there, like, just as a hypothetical, is there anything that you would want to see? Like, what's your dream meta if we do get enough changes for that? Or are you happy with how it is right now?
I'm pretty happy with the meta right now. Like, I think every day I'm getting better at ball, and it's just like more enjoyable. And it's like kind of been like a goal for me to expand my hero pool a bit more. And I think ball is like that perfect like character to have that under the belt, because like I used to play a lot of ball. like early like 2020, like we played it was like the Gauntlet, like the Asia Gauntlet, and like we took a map of Runaway and like Ball Mirror, and then like we beat Billy Gaming. So like I've played ball at like a pretty high level before, but it was also like 5 years ago in Overwatch 1 where ball was like completely different. And like since then I didn't really play ball because like I'd be on 200 ping and ball is just so bad on 200 ping. So it was kind of like a neglected hero of mine for a long time, but I really enjoyed playing him. So like this has been a meta that's been really enjoyable for me to get back into it. So I don't know, like I don't really mind where it goes. I wouldn't mind like a Winston, like more Winston, but yeah, just away from Brawl. Like I don't want to play like Orisa or like even D.Va. Like D.Va's boring. Like I'm not going to play D.Va. Like I think we play to our strengths. And like, I feel like the off-tank characters, like, unless I absolutely need to, like, there's not much point branching out to them.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, like, I think like people sometimes they would just try and do too much via jack of trades, but I think we just need to play to our strengths. So yeah, I don't really mind if it stays ball meta, Winston, just anything but like Brawl.
Gotcha. Now, I want to ask you real quick here about your kind of companions there in the top three, Spacestation Gaming and Team Liquid. Team Liquid, they seem to have a pretty similar style to you guys where they do like playing the ball comps and stuff. So how do you guys feel that you match up to Liquid? And do you think that Liquid is going to live up to the hype that everyone has been giving them?
Probably not. I mean, I think they've always they've played this ball comp for like a long time. And I think other teams right now are like catching up because everyone's actually playing ball. Like before, like you wouldn't really bother mirroring Liquid on ball just because they would always play it and like we would never play it. Like other teams never play it. But now it's like everyone's playing it, or like most teams are playing it. So I think like with time, like
so you think Liquid just got a bit of a head start here to this meta?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And now, what are your thoughts on Space Station, who's kind of on the opposite end of the pendulum, where they are leaning into like the Zarya and the off-tank comps?
Yeah, I think they're a really good team. I think they have a chance of like going pretty far just because Hawk and Sugar Free are just like they just hard carry that team. Like there's nothing else really to say. Those guys are really good players, and you know they play something that the other teams in NA play it, but like not to the level. Like EU teams play it, but we don't really scrim EU that much. But I think like mainly because we won't be able to get like really high quality practice against what they play in scrims a lot, whereas they're probably versing ball every block that they play, like because they're scrimming Nightmare and us and Liquid, and like we all play ball. So like they're getting really good practice to beat the ball comp, whereas we only would get practice from when we scrim them. So I think they have a chance of like being like a real good contender for the stage, yeah. Okay. Just because they play that. And yeah, Hawk's like a really good off tank. So it makes sense for them to lean into that.
But you are still confident that GK's dive's going to be able to beat them?
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm not going to say we're going to lose to anyone. I don't want to, lie.
Okay, perfect. Well, that about wraps up all the questions I have for you today. But before I let you go, is there anything you want to shout out? Any messages for your fans?
Not really. I mean, just like, thanks if you support us. We'll try to get that 3-peat. But yeah, like I said before, in like it was like an Overwatch interview, like the stream interview. Like our focus really isn't NA. Like regardless if we win, we come second, we come third. Like hopefully we qualify, right? But like the main goal is to compete internationally, and like we want revenge. Like Falcons, Owlcat. Like
you want to take down the Korean teams.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just EWC was like so close, and like we have so many regrets from that tournament. But we have like an insane experience from, China and EWC. So Sweden, I feel something in the air. Something's in the air for Sweden. So hopefully that will go that way.
Okay. Well, hopefully that's a good omen then. Well, all right. That wraps everything that I think I wanted to talk about here today. So cuFFa, thank you so much for joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule to give us some insight on how things work.
No worries. Thank you.
All right. And to everyone watching, again, that is going to wrap things up for today. Thank you all so much for joining us here at Overwatch TV. Make sure you follow cuFFa and Geekay Esports on their social pages so you can make sure you check out all their matches and see their ball comps wow the world live on broadcast. And of course, make sure you follow Overwatch TV on all our socials as well so you can keep an eye out for more interviews just like this where you can find out what's going on behind the scenes of your favorite teams. But like I said, that is a wrap for today. So again, thank you all so much for watching and take care.